The Atlantic Forest, a name that evokes images of vibrant green canopies and hidden wonders. This sprawling forest hugging the Atlantic coast of Brazil is a world unto itself. It is a realm teeming with life, a biodiversity hotspot unlike any other. The Atlantic Forest is a place of staggering numbers. It boasts a kaleidoscope of over 20,000 plant species. Imagine a forest floor carpeted in ferns, orchids clinging to towering trees, and sunlight filtering through a canopy bursting with colorful bromeliads. This is the Atlantic Forest. But the true magic of this forest lies not just in its abundance, but in its uniqueness. Many of the species here are found nowhere else on Earth. The Atlantic Forest is a treasure chest of endemic life, a living laboratory of evolution. The air thrums with the calls of over 1,000 bird species. Toucans with their oversized beaks hop through the branches. Hummingbirds like living jewels flit from flower to flower. The Atlantic Forest is a symphony of sounds, a celebration of avian diversity, but the forest's inhabitants are not confined to the skies. On the forest floor, the elusive jaguar, the largest cat in the Americas, stalks its prey. The golden lion tamarin, a small monkey with a mane of golden fur, leaps through the trees. The Atlantic Forest is a tapestry of life, woven with intricate connections between predator and prey, plant and animal. Each species plays a vital role in this delicate ecosystem. The Atlantic Forest is more than just a beautiful landscape. It is the lifeblood of Brazil. The forest provides livelihoods for millions of people. It is a source of timber, medicinal plants, and food. The trees of the Atlantic Forest act as giant sponges, absorbing rainwater and slowly releasing it into rivers and streams. These rivers provide drinking water for over 60% of Brazil's population. The forest acts as a natural filter, ensuring clean water for millions. But the importance of the Atlantic Forest extends far beyond Brazil's borders. The forest plays a crucial role in regulating the global climate. The trees absorb vast amounts of carbon dioxide, helping to mitigate the effects of climate change. The Atlantic Forest, once a vast expanse of green, is shrinking at an alarming rate. Deforestation, driven by agriculture, logging, and urban sprawl, is tearing through the forest like a wildfire. The consequences of this destruction are far-reaching. As the forest disappears, so too do the countless species that call it home. The loss of habitat is pushing many animals, including the jaguar and the golden lion tamarin, closer to the brink of extinction. Section 5. The Silent Extinction. The disappearance of the Atlantic Forest is not just an environmental tragedy, it is a cultural loss. For centuries, indigenous communities have lived in harmony with the forest, their lives intertwined with its rhythms. These communities hold a wealth of knowledge about the forest's plants, animals, and ecosystems. Their traditional practices have helped to sustain the forest for generations. But as the forest shrinks, so too does this invaluable knowledge. The loss of the Atlantic Forest is a loss for all of us. It is a loss of biodiversity, a loss of cultural heritage, and a loss of a vital ecosystem that helps to sustain life on Earth. Despite the challenges, there is hope for the Atlantic Forest. Across Brazil, individuals and organizations are working tirelessly to protect and restore this precious ecosystem. Conservationists are establishing protected areas, working to connect fragmented forests, and fighting to combat illegal logging and deforestation. Their efforts are making a difference, but the task is immense. One of the most inspiring aspects of the Atlantic Forest story is the role of local communities. From the mountains to the coast, people are taking ownership of their environment and working to restore what has been lost. Community-led reforestation projects are bringing life back to degraded areas. Farmers are adopting sustainable agricultural practices that reduce pressure on the forest. And ecotourism initiatives are providing alternative livelihoods that depend on a healthy forest. The future of the Atlantic Forest depends on our ability to recognize its true value. It is not just a collection of trees and animals, it is a living, breathing entity that sustains us all. We must learn to live in harmony with the forest, respecting its limits and celebrating its bounty. We must support the communities working to protect it and hold accountable those who seek to exploit it. The fate of the Atlantic forest is in our hands. The choices we make today will determine the future of this irreplaceable ecosystem. Let us choose wisely, for the sake of the forest, for the sake of the planet, and for the sake of generations to come. The Atlantic forest is a place of resilience. Even in the face of adversity, life finds a way. With our help, this magnificent forest can heal, regenerate, and continue to inspire wonder for centuries to come.